Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer, The Silence and the Fury, where today, if we want to continue our rampage southward toward the city of Itza, which is approximately hereabouts, we're going to have to tear through some enemies that are maybe a little bit more prepared to deal with us than the ones we've been running through so far. We have mostly avoided having to fight major factions. Like, we did take on the Heralds. The Heralds are a real faction with an actual legendary lord, but we did it at sort of like a moment of local weakness for them. They had been beaten up by the Dark Elves and stuff. If we continue pushing southward, we're going to be going through the Drowned, who I'm actually a little bit concerned about. And then after that, Marcus Wolfheart and the Hunts Marshal's expedition, which is basically like a version of the Swamp Towners, who are competent and have potentially real guns. So I have worries. I have some concerns. I do not think beastmen fare all that well against guns. So it's sort of a weakness of ours. But I really do want to keep the momentum rolling, don't I? Also, I did notice as I flipped this open, neither Hexawaddle nor the Witchwood have check marks. It's probably fine. They're probably just not displaying that they're complete. I'm sure it's being tracked correctly. Fingers crossed. So, if we're going to keep pushing southward, what are we thinking?
Blood kiss of the seas.
A Herdstone in the High Sentinel is potentially worth a fair amount of ruination. It reaches as far as the Temple of Kara. That one's not bad. And by the way, I have seen the comments. People are saying that the special cities that we are told to destroy, they get a different Herdstone if you put a Herdstone up in those locations. It might be nice for there to be some indication rather in the game that is the case, but we can try that with Itza. I'm not that worried about the Herdstones in general. Is maybe part of why I didn't even really think about it. For me, this is what's happening. The cities that are on our army's backs are the things to be concerned about, but maybe the Herdstones are a little more powerful than I'm giving them credit for when you put them up in the right places. So I mean, we gotta finish off Helmut Nussbacker, and Malagor can just grab you, right? This should be no problem. You're in march mode. There will be no fleeing, and we successfully landed an ambush. Hooray! Let us, I guess, take the rage. Yeah, none of those options are very good. Hold on now. That was a follower that allows us to have extra chaos spawn capacity. Can we get that dude on Morgar? Yeah, Spawn Wrangler seems like a great idea. And then we also just have some other unequipped stuff. I found this Totem of Rust. Do you want this? Here, have a sword. It's a sword of might, which is one of the best things that a sword can be of, I would imagine. You know, obviously, it's a low-quality magic item in this game, but if you think about it logically, like, of all of the words in the English language that a sword could be of, might is pretty high, right? It beats, like, sword of pudding, sword of public indecency, right? There's a lot that you could end up in a lot worse places, is all I'm saying. Yeah, Winds of Magic cost down for all characters on our way to permanent crows. I am way into permanent crows. It's just a great idea. And I guess let's go to Pahuax. We didn't search this ruin yet, right? I'm gonna try it. Alright, to access the treasure, solve the puzzle, solitude is always desired. So these ones bother me because they're ambiguous. Sometimes you can see each of these buttons has a shape on it and also a color. And sometimes they want you to press the unique color, and sometimes they want you to press the unique shape, and there's no way to know which one they want at any given time, so let's see. So this is the only purple shape. Okay, yeah, this is the only purple button. This is the only button that is this shape. I'm gonna try the purple one this time. I believe it is the case that some of them are the unique shape and some of them are the unique color, and just good luck. You have to guess. I guessed wrong. They wanted the unique shape. What is that? Oh, that's an ogre camp. Oh, hey, that's an ogre camp. We should say howdy to them. Can I cannot reach that. If I was in Juggernaut raiding mode, nope, still no. All right, well, we're going to be... Oh, right. I have to get out of encampment. We're going to be suffering a little bit of attrition here, running around in all of this undead corruption. You can see how the ground looks kind of like a bluish gray. Everything's very grim and spooky. There's lots of mists. That's because this faction is a bunch of vampires and ghosts and zombies and stuff. Also, they're pirates. They have huge pirate ships, and they like to ride on the back of giant crabs and shoot cannons at people. You're thinking, wow, that sounds like the best faction in the game. You're correct. They are the best faction in the game. They rule a huge amount in a way that is completely undeniable. And my only regret, greater than the fact that I think we are going to fight them, is that we are not just playing them all of the time. It's just a really good idea, is all. If I go into raiding mode, does that affect... Aha! It does. It makes me immune to attrition. We will simply gather supplies from the surroundings to replace our losses. Yeah, I think we're probably just going to go ahead and lay down a herdstone here and have at the drowned. So we're not close enough to see anything about your deal. All right, we'll get there. We'll get there. Do we want to maybe hire another hero? Have somebody else to play scout for us? Do we have capacity for another hero? We could bring on a Wargore. Ah, that's true. I did build the Wargore building. So you have damage walls, assassinate, and hinder replenishment. So there are a few different types of hero abilities for each type of target, and each hero has sort of a unique spread of those within each faction. Honestly, this does not seem to me like a character I want running around on the world map quite so much. This might be more of a fighting in the army kind of hero. Ooh. Your name is unpronounceable, but your power is impressive. Yeah, let's recruit this fellow. You will not, in fact, be a scout for me. You're just going to join up in Torox's army next turn and empower all of those minotaurs. We got a real minotaur thing going on. What about Bray Shamans? Because we do need to hire another Bray Shaman at some point. So I need to increase our capacity of those, which is 500, right? Yeah, 500. Okay, easy. And I think we all want to stick together for the moment. I don't want to send Torox out to attack the High Sentinel on his own, even if he would probably win that battle. Just because it's too easy then for the other drowned armies to potentially sweep in and pick him off. And that army that we can see there is not led by their legendary lord, which suggests that there is at least one more army nearby that is, right? And their legendary lord is a real terror. I am one of the few lords in the game I am actually like a little bit afraid of. So we're just going to be cautious in our approach. Perhaps a tiny bit out of character. Stop trying to wound me. That's what it is. We're getting close, and so they're dialing up the hostility. It is going to unfold exactly like I said it was going to, isn't it? All right, so I'm just going to keep annoying you. Hooray! I wonder, at what point do they decide that it is worth diverting a hero from some other task just to make Ox stop annoying this army? He's just running along behind them and punching them in the back of the head whenever they're not looking. And then he scurries off into the darkness. If you can imagine the sound of a minotaur giggling, that's what is happening there. So now that that new person is properly installed, we have up to 5 units of chaos spawn. I mean, do I want to just drop a lot of the normal melee for chaos spawn? The thing about chaos spawn is you can see there 40 melee attack with 142 weapon strength. They're very killy. They also have 10 armor and 28 defense. They get hit by absolutely everything. They die constantly. But they really are terrifying. They do a lot of damage. And they do have some regeneration, I believe. Yeah, the standard regen and fire weakness. They're unbreakable. Although the unbreakability is another thing that causes them to die because they can never be forced to retreat from a combat that's not going their way. They will just stay in there and get slowly ripped to pieces. But yeah, I think the answer is I want to go way deep on the chaos spawns. All right, let's start the turn by walking forward. Wow, that really we can't reach that. Also, I want to bump somebody out of Torox's army here. You know, honestly, I just don't think we need all this razor gore nonsense. New guy, get in here. All right, I do love having characters. It is like USA up in here. And I guess we're going to be approaching even a little bit slower than I thought. Like, we can spend momentum to move extra with Torox, but I don't, like... I have been reluctant to do so far, because I'm trying to have enough momentum to actually keep the rampage going. But also, like, positionally, like I'm saying, this is not their only army. They're showing up as weaker than we are, but I don't know if this is so much weaker that that's... And we're being told that Silostra's right there, although that may be... Maybe she's out of the game and injured, and she's just appearing here because this is their capital. Maybe they do only have one army right now? We can see what's in it right now. So they have a Morngul Haunter, and if you look at the portrait there in the lower left, you can get some idea what's going on with that thing. That's a pretty bad deal for us. Zombie pirates are not great melee combatants, but many of them have guns and rifles and stuff. And then they got additional Mornguls and, you know, mortars. They have gunpowder. They figured out how gunpowder works. I feel like we should figure out how gunpowder works. Yeah, you know what? We're fine. We can afford another turn of the forward creep. I'm a big fan of what is effectively the Overwatch creep, a modified version of the Overwatch creep, especially when we're invisible the entire time. And you're gonna move sort of more toward the ogre camp. We're gonna see about adding some more ogres to the pool and then never hiring them, because it's been working out for us so well so far. Hell yes, get me the ability to recruit a Jabberslythe. Malagor, you beautiful monster. You beautiful, terrifying, horrible monster. So I have as many Minotaurs as I'm allowed to have, right? Yes, at the moment I am Minotaured out. You are going to fire, at the very least, all of the Ungor. Why would we have Ungor when we could instead just have, like, look at all the gore these guys could do. All the goring, at the very least. How fast is a Chaos Spawn? 45? So, to compare to normal melee troops, like 40. Beastmen are a little bit faster than normal melee. I think 40 is a little quicker than you would expect from a normal guy on the ground. But, like, actual fast-moving stuff is more in the 70s. So they're not particularly quick. They are basically just really, really murderous infantry. Do I want to kick out any of the gore for them? Or honestly, maybe we could just drop some raiders. Archery is not... like, archery is not the thing that's going to get us through against the zombie pirates, but also that's probably true of Chaos Spawn as well. They're going to get shot to pieces. Yeah, I'll leave the composition like this for the moment. And we got lots of research available. So, dread from battles up, magic stuff up, or like, it's hard to not want to take, it's hard to not want to take unnatural order toward death from the shadows. Ooh, causes fear when ambushing. That's a neat one. I guess most of our good units already cause fear. I mean, when ambushing, because they cause fear at all times. So it's probably not a big deal. Alright, let's see if the elf agents who are trying to slay us will follow us out of Athel Loren. Look at all the people we're getting to meet. I like this. I like this long route across land rather than having like put this guy in the ocean and sailed him around the coast. Because we get to meet a lot more of the factions that are kind of in the general neighborhood of the Empire. Which means that when we start sailing east with eyes on Altdorf, we'll have better like strength ranking information and stuff. We will know where more people stand. And it looks like the elves are not following us out of Athel Loren. So where is Gisaru from here? We're there. We're actually there, friends. I do believe that this is the border, and we've done it. Hooray! 1,500 favor. All right, win the following battle with Morgur's army. There's a staff battle, and then we'll get our thing. And it's just a bunch of elves. Fun. The insidious elves are never far behind. The forests speak to them and reveal all the secrets that lie beneath the canopy. Ariel is no fool either. She knows Morgur better than any of his enemies, and has tracked him down. In her stead, she sends a champion, that's just cowardice right there, at the head of an Asrai host to put an end to Morgur's dreams of destruction and return Athel Loren to peace, as peaceful as it ever gets in a forest that loves eating people. This is but a fleeting hope, however, for Morgur will not suffer these forest folk to interrupt his desires. This champion will be eviscerated and returned to Ariel in a dozen ruinous pieces, each more garishly transformed than the last, because Morgur has no chill. He is full gimmick, full time. And while I do not like his gimmick, I find it unpleasant, I gotta respect the commitment, you know? Ulruk, great job, you're disbanded. Well done. So we can wait 5 turns for Ulruk to be available again to rehire him, but I think we're probably just gonna maybe hire a new one because Ulruk was not optimally built. So if who has a Bray Shaman recruitment building? You do. Okay. Hey, this one's got Nurgle's foul stink upon him. That's fun. So what do we have? Beasts and shadows and death and wild. Because we do still want a guy for one of these armies, right? Khorne's Fury gives you Frenzy, which is maybe not the best thing in the world for a wizard to have. Not super useful. Leadership and melee attack for all of the whole army is kind of neat. Can I... Where's the spell browser? Here we go. I'm just trying to remember which things are in which groups. So the Lore of Death has Aspect of the Dread Knight, which just makes the units scary, which is like fine, whatever. Spirit Leech, which is a pretty good single target damage spell. Doom and Darkness, which just makes enemies terrified in a different way. Soul Blight, which is a pretty solid debuff. Minus 30 armor can be very significant sometimes. The Purple Sun of Xerius is very fun. Sad that it doesn't actually show it getting cast on people, so you can't see the amount of pulling people off the ground and just hurling them around that it does. But yeah, it does that thing and it just kind of wanders around for a while. And then the Fate of Buna is one of the better direct damage spells in the game. It just hits a lot of people for a lot of damage. You can see it would have to at 22 power cost. So yeah, that's all right. We also have access to beasts, which will give us some buffs, the ability to summon a whole lot of crows. It's fun to summon crows on people. The ability to make a manticore, which sadly, not really that impressive of a unit. Certainly not as fun as summoning a Cygor. Boy, that's a lot of pomp and circumstance for what is essentially like a slightly better than a big bird. So yeah, that's not bad. We could do that. The one we have right now is wild, right? Because that's the one that has the Cygor at the top of it. I would not be opposed to just having a second Wildcaster. I do think Wild's quite strong. What's the other branch we're allowed to have? Shadows. You have to forgive me. I'm a little spacey. This is how many schools of magic there are. Sometimes I forget which thing is in which part. So a significant slow with some damage. Enfeebling is very good for the magic cost, especially. Withering is minus armor, minus leadership. That's pretty cool. The Penumbral Pendulum. This time they actually do, yeah, you get to see it actually cut through an enemy unit. That's pretty fun. You know what? We might do this one Because I actually do like Withering a lot. Pit of Shades is a huge stationary area of effect. How huge? Tell me the meaning of huge. Okay, you know, there's a lot to be said for the art on that one. So is there a good option in the Shadows thing? Leadership +4 for the whole army. You know, that's not bad. I think that's what we might do. Let's take Narn the Man Ripper. Because I can pronounce that name. Welcome aboard. You came in at level 2. Let's just get you your first upgrades. And we were going to fold you into Morgur's army, because I thought Morgur was a spellcaster, but it turns out not so much. How am I going to... Well, whatever. Next turn. That's right. New units come in with no movement, so I'll worry about what we're kicking out next turn. All right, so it does look like they're pushing the Dark Elves back. Like they kicked them out of Eagle Gate at the very least. They're making some progress, some kind of progress here. And yeah, I guess we're good to just pass. We're accumulating dread quickly, just kind of all the time, and I never feel like I have a good sense of what I'm accumulating dread for. Where am I going with all this, you know? Eataine has declared war on Sildra Tor, which may mean that we start to see Eataine armies on this continent, which is a little bit concerning, considering how much they don't like us, but probably pretty far to the north of us, for the moment at least. Also, we do have to actually do these quest battles at some point. So give me campaign movement. It turns out we're going to need it out here. So my plan was to restore momentum by hitting the high sentinel, and then we're pretty close to getting Savage Rampage. Could we get a great big bonus to actual combat effectiveness from the Savage Rampage? Actually, it looks like no. Some of the Harsh Rampage stuff gives actual combat benefits, but Savage Rampage is mostly map focused, it looks like. What does Cataclysmic do? Dread cost down for recruiting a Gorbel, and he comes in with... Huh. These are weird. Yeah, so I guess there's not really a stat benefit to be earned. Huh. Well, that was kind of my plan, was we'd get another big stat boost from the Rampage, and then we'd have Torox teleport back for his quest battle. But I guess not. Alright, well, we gotta have Torox rip something up here. Would I rather... Hold on. Is the floating pyramid a better herdstone? Actually, probably. Yeah, because it still touches this settlement. So maybe we have Torox and, like, Morgur run south. Malagor can push to that. Celostra Dirfan here is their legendary lord. So yeah, she was wounded. She's just been respawned. I would love to not let her get a real army under her control. Charlie Baker's army is just in march mode, so yeah, we can do this. We can do this. Yeah, declare war. Of course, declare war. Why should I even have to say that? Whenever you click on anything as a beastman, it should assume that you are trying to declare war on it. Hold on. Don't go just yet. Let's all work together here. I don't know if the Bray Shaman's going to be able to reach us down here, but I definitely want to make sure we make it this far down. Will the Bray Shaman be able to just run over and join up? Yes. Okay. So this would be a good time to kick a unit out of this army. I'm going to drop one of the Raider units. One squishy ranged thing for another. May as well get in here and get some XP, right? All right, and let's set ourselves up a stone. So they're going to come in. They're going to funnel in really slowly here. Yeah, we can auto-resolve this. Most of that battle would be us just standing against the edge of the map, murdering them as they enter. And I do believe that we just broke their entire military strength for the moment. So we kind of have like free pickings if we're quick. And we've unlocked a regiment of renown, and more importantly, a way of getting more Minotaurs into Torox's army. Very exciting stuff. What else do we want here? So we just finished Bloodcaller. Missile resistance, magic resistance. I mean, even more leadership's not terrible. Like, what else do we really need, though? I feel like his army is, yeah, we're all capped out on things that make Minotaurs better. I guess just his personal combat skill is the thing that comes next. Or we could start pushing up this stuff. It might still be good to be able to get Lightning Strike. There's a little bit of campaign movement range here, but honestly, like, this is really the only thing we would be going blue line for, and it's a lot of skill points to invest for 5% movement range. You know what, let's take personal combat skill. We'll just make you even better at that. And your spellcaster, do I want to put you in a chariot? I think the answer is still no for the moment. I think the chariot probably is more trouble than it's worth. So, what is our Wargore going to do? At rank 10, we'll get to pick a sort of a specialization here. Right now, just by being around, he is replenishing our troops even faster. I guess we just want to focus on his personal combat skill, right? Just want him to also be a good enemy crusher. And you know what? Get fired. Because we're bringing in more Minotaurs. The Butchers of Kalkengard. What is the difference between these guys and a normal Minotaur? Oh no, everybody's got the Gore Feast. Okay, hold on. Recruit. Select normal Minotaurs and then compare. Oh wait, I have to... Yeah, there we go. So, very similarly statted. They have just 1,000 extra health, it looks like. Oh, Minotaurs don't normally cause terror. These cause terror, and then on top of that, they have natural regeneration. Okay, so not hugely different. But like, you know, Minotaurs. It's good to have Minotaurs in this army. And here at the Floating Pyramid, we shall construct for ourselves... It is funny that the ability to recruit giants is lower on the Herdstone tier list than the ability to just recruit normal Minotaurs. The game knows. The game knows how wonderful a Minotaur is. Let's pick up... Give me Vision. Because there's some areas to the south that this Herdstone covers that we have never seen before. So let's do those things. You are pretty much out of movement, sadly. So, plus speed for all allies whenever you cast is pretty cool. I think we want to grab Withering. I want to max out Withering. Like, Withering and Enfeebling are both incredibly good. This army could transition into raiding mode. We're quote-unquote raiding friendly territory, but, you know, Beastmen. Who cares? They'll get it. They'll understand. So what do we got here? Ogres with dual weapons, Mournfang Cavalry. I think this might be the exact same version of this thing that we saw before. I am kind of curious about the Mournfang Cavalry. Let's add some of them to one of our trees, and then you do not actually get to fight anybody this turn. But I'm going to have you, I guess, move up that way. And sadly, you do not have any fast movement modes. How many settlements does this faction own currently? Okay, just these two. So we'll clean them up real quick. That'll get a lot of good devastation on that stone. I've lost sight of the army that has the big sword, which does make me a little nervous. You know what? Run through here and see if you can find them again. Eltharian's up there. Where did that Sword of Cain go? You know, it's a giant magic sword that you can see from miles around. It's pretty hard to lose track of it. How did it get down here? Well, I mean, whatever. It doesn't matter very much. I guess they jumped in the water and sailed around. So where exactly does my Herdstone cover? It reaches down here, it reaches out there. So this is a lot of different factions we may end up at war with in order to satisfy our desire for ruination. We'll just have to make sure that we are being thorough. Don't give any of them time to rebuild and backstab us. Fortunately, the one to the west and the one to the south are pretty minor, and I think we should be able to just roll over them in like 1 or 2 settlements. Marcus Wolfhardt's faction is real and potentially dangerous, but we have no idea how built up they are. Oh no, someone's raiding my territory, and his name is Morgur. How could he? Looks like, sadly, we are not going to be able to reach the Monument of the Moon this turn, even with our movement bonuses. Still, all of this spooky undead jungle is just not good for hooves. All right. So do I wanna make sure that we get? We should probably grab the next bonus before we try to do the quest battle. So I think I just want to attack the High Sentinel with Torox, and then Morgur maybe varies southward to start feeling around for weaknesses here. Like, okay, you're a minor, generally speaking, a pretty minor faction, but you have managed to get six settlements to your name. It's probably all of this stuff. So that'll be a longer term conflict. What about you? You have 2. Okay, the other one's just right there, and you currently have no army at all. The Defenders of the Great Plan are not a normal faction. I think they're like a weird sort of like sub part of another faction. I don't know exactly what their deal is. They're a strange thing, I know that. Basically, I'm not too scared of them. So the question is just like, do we run Torox this way, looking for a whole bunch of new targets, or do we just hit this? My concern is if we hit the High Sentinel with him, then we probably are going to lose our momentum afterward, because he's going to have so much distance to travel before we can get in another fight. But I think this will push us over to the next rampage, and that's probably good enough. And obviously he's got this under control. Morgur can go south. Alright, that's a lot of favor. And we have activated a Savage Rampage. So, spend 4 points in the box to get big move speed bonuses, and then there's another box, and beyond that we get Deadly Onslaught, which is obviously pretty solid. So what are we most looking for here? Charge bonus is pretty good, and he is already incentivized to charge a lot. He's got very good armor as it is. I'd be disinclined to take more armor because there's definitely a sort of a diminishing returns on that. His melee attack is pretty solid. He dazes his opponents, lowering their melee defense, which is cool, and then also he has flaming attacks. Honestly, I think the thing we most need to shore up is his defense. And then you get to put the last spell point in, and you get to... So you're 55 attack, 40 defense. You're not exactly where we would like you to be. You do have 20 bonus versus infantry, so keep in mind bonus versus type is weapon damage and melee attack when attacking things of that type. So your defense, your attack is actually 75 against the kinds of things we're going to be putting you up against most. So honestly, probably, again, it is a matter of melee defense with you. And then I'm going to put Torox into encampment mode so we replenish, and I think maybe we'll just hit the quest battle next turn. Because we should be prepped for that, right? We should be strong enough to do something like that at this point. And you... The enemy that it makes the most sense to go after is right here, right? Or do I want to take this opportunity to teleport you over for your quest battle? What does this thing do exactly? It increases your unit capacity for Chaos Spawn. Probably not actually necessary. Gives you the ability to summon additional Chaos Spawn on top of your real army. Honestly, it doesn't seem all that great as far as a legendary goes. I don't know if I think that's very good. I don't know if it's worth the effort. All right, if we were going to try to tech out your army to be ready for this thing, you're already full on gore. We do not have the Bestigor recruitment building in this stack, so we should probably do that. Yeah, I guess what we'll do is we'll move forward, sort of generally southward, toward the road, preferably. Get ourselves some slightly better melee recruitment buildings, and we should be able to recruit. Wait, is he the one who wanted the Jabberslythe? No, the other army was the one that wanted the Jabberslythe, right? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It could be you. You do have this bonus for Jabberslythes here. I think I built the Jabberslythe recruitment building in the other stack because that was the one that had the leveled up thing. Yeah, because wow, without the build discounts, it takes a lot of favor to get there. So would I rather have this? You know what? No, I would rather have the ability to recruit Bestigors into this herd, and Malagor will just bring him a Jabberslythe later. Speaking of which, let's get a Jabberslythe. In fact, we can replace a number of these units with better options. Right, let's grab you, and how many archers do I want to lose? See, we can probably lose a couple more. Yeah, I think that's a realer army. It's still not good, but it's definitely better. We have all of our regiments of renown checked out already. We have a lot of ogres. I mean, we got to try some ogres out at some point during the campaign. It'll happen. We'll get there. Do we want upgrades? So we have proper vision over the whole of the blood grounds. I mean, it gave us a little bit more sight. Basically, what it told us is that there do not seem to be a lot of armies we are not aware of. We had accounted for stuff, mostly. Okay, so this one gives a faction-wide dread bonus. That's definitely worth upgrading. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. And then this one, right, the plague. Plague and lowered movement for enemies, both actually worth it. It's kind of wild that they pulled the Sword of Cain back as much as they did, because it definitely seems to be the thing that turned the war against the Dark Elves around for them. You'd think they'd want to keep pressing that advantage. I wonder if there's something going on down here that I'm not aware of that is a good reason for them to have moved it in that direction. So we're replenishing enough. The Taurox should be at max HP on his whole army. I think we probably will just go for his quest battle here. With this number of Minotaurs, we should be more than built up enough. We have a good invulnerable spellcaster, not invulnerable, but immortal spellcaster. And I don't know what kind of trickery the enemy's going to get up to, but I'm sure we'll be ready for it. So this is taken on. It's because it is taking us so long to arrive. They are building up a little bit more than I had hoped.
Against the code. Can't be
The Monument of the Moon has a 9-unit garrison, including some deck droppers. That is, zombies with pistols that are being carried around by giant bats, because again, this is the best faction in the game. Some actual real halberd infantry, like Depth Guard, are like actually pretty scary. Are you gonna need assistance? Do I need to... Because we can have Taurox report up there really quickly, right? It takes no time at all for Taurox to get places. And that would give me another something to build momentum off of. Yeah, maybe we delay for a moment because I am concerned. So we'll have Taurox run forward in raiding mode. We'll have Malagor creep up looking all stealthy. Sorry, not looking stealthy. He doesn't look like anything at all. You can't see him on account of how stealthy he is. And hopefully they'll feel confident between the two of them, whatever mustering they do, to just take Torox on, and they'll get horribly embarrassed, but if not, we'll just claim them on our turn. Shouldn't be a problem. And so, do we want Morgr to just go for his quest battle without the Jabberslythe? Not really. I think we're just gonna continue on here. Let's burn a thing and add it to our ruination tally. Oh no, the faction without an army is going to be upset at me for trespassing. You know, maybe the High Elves just know their business better than I do. It does seem like they no longer need the blade up here to continue winning this war, so... And we're getting pretty close to the point where Ak will also be functionally immortal, which is definitely helpful. I think I do want to push for 10% more dread gain from all battles forever. Of course, I'm making a big assumption there that we will get to hold on to this this herdstone, but, you know, nobody's knocked down the last one yet. And this one will be behind a couple lines of unsettleable ruins, so probably nobody will even have an interest in knocking this one over for a while. There's the Ghost Paladin that serves the Lady of the Drowned. I guess trying to keep an eye on whatever Torox is doing here. I feel like they could see it from the settlement. I don't know that you're really providing a lot of benefit right now. They tried to assassinate Ak, but they were unable to do so because apparently Ak is competent now. It's a fun change of pace. I love it when my characters become competent. It's one of the best feelings. All right, let's crush them. So I think let's attack this army in the field. I don't know that it really matters how we go at this, but yeah, the settlement garrison had like some real units in it. This army's entirely made up of dogs. For some reason. Why would you army it like that? I hate to go around telling other leaders how to do their thing, but like that's objectively wrong. You are just doing that wrong. I'm gonna take... We don't need the replenishment. We don't need any of it, to be perfectly honest with you. I guess I'll take the favor. Alright, so that's one battle. This sadly will not count as a second battle, but we do just need a huge amount of money. Right, I'm assuming that did not count as a second battle for the purposes of... Yeah, okay. You don't really fight an empty settlement. Okay, you're not even going to be all the way back at full health next turn. Embarrassing. And I think I'm going to have y'all get in the water, maybe? Be a faster way to make it back around to the place where stuff is happening. Yeah, because moving through the jungle sucks a lot. It is very bad. Let's get a little bit more of that. And, you know, it's good to get some experience and some levels onto Pifu here. I'm sure that's how that's pronounced. Before we drag him into a great big quest battle in a turn or two. We're pretty far off of that cataclysmic one. What do we want to take here? I guess I could do this thing. That would allow Torox to maybe rejoin reality, rejoin the part of the war where the stuff is happening. Solar Eclipse Dark Moon event will trigger next turn. Well, if this is what the Dark Moon is, that doesn't seem that good, frankly. I guess I'm going to hold off for a minute. It doesn't really seem like there's much point in firing one of these until we're about to hit another settlement. I should have fired it before attacking there. But, you know, I spaced. All right, you're going to try to assassinate me. Let me show you how this is done. See, like that. Have you considered hitting them with the axe? That's what it's for. All right, Morgar is, in fact, going to pursue some upgrades, but not until after... Ooh, that is a 14-unit garrison on a walled settlement. So they got some temple guards, which are pretty serious infantry. Not very killy, but very, very tough. Real Sauruses, some... Okay, that's an ancient stegodon, which is a massive dinosaur with a ballista mounted on its back. Maybe Morgar's not 100% up to this task alone. It is a little concerning. Maybe we want to swap up the strat here. With that army leaving that city behind. Yeah, all right. This does look like maybe it's a 2-army kind of thing, or maybe we could just starve them out. You know what? Let's stay on plan because like we know these guys don't have an army or anything. The power bar is completely yellow. I think what we do here is we just siege them for the moment. I do not think that it is to our benefit to attack them on the walls. This will give other people time to catch up a little bit. So do I want to also upgrade this thing? Even less movement. You know what? This is probably not worth the additional upgrade. We have the small chance for the plague to break out, and it doesn't seem like... It does not indicate that that chance increases or anything as you level this up, so... up here, yes, we should definitely do this. I want to recruit additional Gorgon. Torox's army may be a little... It may end up being a little bit light on total bodies. I do think that's a real concern. Oh, is it time? Is it time for war? It is time for war. Okay, they're only showing up about as powerful as we are. My expectation is that they will not actually come at us very quickly. They have opened the door to hostility, but I doubt they're going to like sail a bunch of ships over here right now. My suspicion is that that was more of a saber rattle than anything else. They were just letting us know that they are mad. The bad news for them is I'm too stupid to care that they're mad. Got them. It's a bulletproof strategy. Oh my god, you're so... he used up a bunch of this turn, in case you're wondering why his movement bar is already mostly empty. He used up some of this turn's movement getting in the water last turn, which is a real thing that actually happens, because movement into water is tough. You know what, to be perfectly honest, Juggernaut rating... Does this allow you to move faster on the water? It kind of looks like it does, right? Oh, interesting. I'm allowed to go up to 3 Gorgons now. So building that building was going to give us a bonus Gorgon no matter what. I guess the one that we started with just doesn't count toward our normal unit caps. 3 Gorgons is too many for one army, right? Probably. How does a giant compare to a Gorgon stats-wise? So the giants are tougher. They got a lot more health, although I suppose it's worth noting they have less armor. They do not have... They're much better against infantry, while the Gorgon is more focused against large stuff. I mean, we probably want to actually recruit these Gorgons, if only for the purpose of distributing them to the other armies, right? All right, I'm gonna keep him on land, because we are going to do some step and recruit type stuff here. So let's put you back into encampment mode. I'm gonna fire the low value archer and also this razor gore herd for the moment, for the purpose of just filling up on Gorgons. And then, like, do I actually want a single unit of Ungor spearmen? Probably not. We're very Minotaur focused at the moment. So I'm gonna kick out this regiment of renown. Get some Cygors in here, and this whole army is at this point such a small number of total bodies that it does make me a little nervous. Now, granted, it's a lot of good bodies. These are useful bodies. So we have the Manticore to try to quickly deal with enemy archers and stuff. Manticores do cause both fear and terror, which makes it very hard for archers to even begin to fight back. We can, of course, pursue enemy archers around with our 70 speed melee units as well. Minotaurs are really good at catching people. Then we got some Gorgons who are pretty fast. Cygor to throw things at them. Yeah, after this recruitment, it might be fun to try to do the quest battle with this army lineup, honestly. So the turn after you perform an assassination successfully, your hero is exhausted and just is bad at everything. I think probably we can just use this as a looking around turn. Let's just see what else they got going on down here. All right, and you are sieging them out. You're not allowed to build stuff while sieging, are you? Nope, no constructing in the siege camps. Well, I guess I don't have any money anyway. I wonder how doing the quest battle will affect our momentum. Hopefully it'll give me a big push of momentum as though I had just won a normal fight. We have trespassers from the Greenskins. I'm assuming that that's going to be like on the land around our herdstone way down to the southeast. What on earth do you want? What? I mean, sure. I guess. I cannot possibly imagine what they think they're gaining from that. Alright, Death from the Shadows. That's a fun challenge. What else is in this area? Fear when ambushing on all armies. Centaur, melee attack and defense. You know, honestly, Savage Mantle and Vitriolic Temperament are both pretty solid for us at this point. We've moved away from Ungor in at least some of these armies. Somebody in this army has a level up. Alright, so I now have the maxed out versions of all of my spells. I have Immortality. We can increase the chance of looting magic items. We could just take a little bit of resistance. I mean, like, once I have some missile resistance, then getting on Chariot back starts to feel a little bit more doable. And yeah, I think we're gonna take this army to quest battle mode. So let's do all this other stuff first. All right, you can go check out this Leviathan corpse on your way back south. Anything fun? With a gush of putrid water, the bloated corpse of an ancient sea leviathan surfaces close by. You consider sending your crew to investigate what secrets the cadaver of the sea beast will bestow. But such an expedition is not without risk. When alive, these creatures are known to host parasites the size of wolves, and even colonies of needle-toothed aquatic man-things. Even so, there may be valuables to be found within its stinking gut. I love stinking valuables. I may have to defeat a foe in battle. I am prepared to do that. It's a bunch of crappy pirates. And I too have a crappy army, but I want to see the Jabberslythe. So here's the thing that Harpies should be pretty good at. Disabling the crew of a mortar. I have to imagine that that's going to pose no major problem for them. And because they're causing fear, I'm hoping that, like, having 2 units of Harpies descend on, like, gunners from opposite directions so that the gunners are suffering the fear morale penalty plus the attacked from behind morale penalty plus, you know, just those units don't like to be attacked in melee in the first place. I hope all that will add up to them just running away really, really quickly. And Harpies are fine at killing units that aren't fighting back. So here's a Jabberslythe. He seems to be having a problem of some kind with his whole frontal region, which I get is that is your own limb, friend. Yeah, great. Okay, he's gonna tear himself apart. So they're planning on winning this battle through a combination of guns and mortars. Basically just like keeping us at range. So we probably do want to start up pretty close. Now we can take advantage of the uneven terrain here. Arrows. This is a hot take. I'm not sure I'm prepared for the blowback this is going to generate. Arrows are less good for war than guns. But there is a place where arrows have a distinct advantage, and that is, you know, where you can generate some line of sight blocking, because you can just shoot over a problem with an arrow. I do think we're just gonna mass up and charge them right here. It's a shame the Jabberslythe can't Vanguard deploy. It's a shame all of the units that are actually good cannot Vanguard deploy. Also, we haven't actually gotten to see Malagor up close. This is the deal that's going on with Malagor. You know, the Crow Father. I do enjoy a Malagor. All right, so show me their positions. I mean, obviously, y'all just like run up as fast as possible. I want these backline people to be frontline people as quickly as we can make that occur. So, what do we got on the enemy squad here? We got some bad zombie deckhands with just like little baby swords. These dudes are some of the worst melee troops. I'm not afraid of them. Unfortunately, we also have some of them got hand cannons. Some of them just got a bunch of pistols and stuff that they found somewhere. Here's that unit of mortars operated by zombies. Very, very low accuracy, but you know, still a mortar. Then you got your guys with pole arms who are like marginally better than the sword ones. I mean, they'll be better at fighting a Jabberslythe at least. Over here, depth guard, real troops with real armor and real axes, and also they're vampires and they will suck the vitality out of whoever they're fighting. So we do have to watch for that. And then over here, I don't know, just some kind of pirate captain. She has a gun. Seems bad. Why don't we have any guns? Who forgot to invent guns? All right, so the Harpies have to be very careful until the gunners are sort of engaged, because a bunch of pistol fire will bring down a unit of Harpies very, very quickly. So we're going to try to put pressure on the troops that are in front of the mortar as best we can, because I want the Harpies to be able to get over there and interfere with that mortar. My own ranged units will pressure probably like the hand cannon gunners. I mean, they're going to... These poor Ungor. Some things are going to happen to them that will be very Ungor indeed. I'm actually going to have you guys prefer that side. The Jabberslythe, of course, is going right for this way. And Malagor. Let's go cast some spells, Malagor. What do you know? You know the Enfeebling Foe, which obviously is good. And then Flock of Doom. This is actually a really good army to use Flock of Doom against, because they have a large number of relatively weak units. So let's doom them. And lucky us, it looks like the gun units kind of ran forward immediately. I am in fact just going to put 2 units of Fear Harpies on the mortars. Now, oh, that's right. Stupid Fear. Because these units are undead, they cause fear, which means that they are also immune to fear. So the fact that my Harpies cause fear is not going to make them anything special here. Bad news. The good news is that we are not going to be afraid of the undead. They're willing to actually attack undead. So that's something. Rearrange the plan a little bit. All right, let's watch the Jabberslythe get in there and do its thing. What, did you forget how to run? Go. I want to see it chomp up these dudes. Okay, that's a lot of flesh. Wow, they broke. That was 100% of their morale bar. All right, the Harpies are doing their thing just fine. Malagor, get over here. Let's enfeeble some enemies. Oh, I can't overcast that. Let's enfeeble the Depth Guard. And then crows. The thing about this is all of the crows. Crow father, give birth to some crows on me. Let's get the Jabberslythe over here. I'm gonna have the Jabberslythe eat their captain. Harpies. Let's see, it looks like y'all have done some fine work over here. Just rain some arrows down. Harpies descend on people from behind. Sorry, my own troops. Yep, there's a little bit of a... Okay. Well, I mean, it was gonna happen. Ah, that's a problem. Do not let them do that. So these units are undead, and like other undead units, when their morale crashes out, they do not run away. They just start literally falling apart on the battlefield. Why don't you back up? I feel like you could maybe just get out of the way. Yep. In case of stuff like that. Their captain was desperately trying to run away from the Jabberslythe, and she literally couldn't. There were so many of my troops in her way. She could not escape its mighty tail. Yeah, that was a very that was a very compelling infantry charge. Now, granted, what we saw there was the Jabberslythe charging into some of the worst melee troops you could hope to encounter. So, you know, don't take that as the thing that's going to happen every time. But it was pretty good. That worked. Also, very impressive kills on the Harpies, considering how bad Harpies are in a sort of a broad general sense. They really showed up in that battle. It's possible that I dislike them more than is warranted. It is worth noting, though, they were up against some of the softest targets we could imagine, so... I don't know. We're going to continue leaning into Malagor's gimmick because I enjoy armies with strong gimmicks. We will just have a lot of Harpies. Even if they are kind of awful. So hopefully that'll be a decent amount of favor since we did actually have to fight for it and everything. Our Bestial Rage is not ideal. Yeah, I guess let's kill the captives. They're already dead, but let's re-kill them again even more. We got ourselves a 17% ward save talisman and 6,000 favor. Yo, this is great, actually. This is a wonderful item. That is not going on Malagor. I'll tell you that right now. Mantle of Crows, always crows, all of the time. Any enemy within 40 meters gets crowed. The unending flock of doom. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to give that to Torox. Or sorry, it'll be in the talisman slot. Yeah, what if Torox was just invincible? What if he just didn't take damage from things? So unfortunately, it'll be next turn. It won't be until next turn that that's actually equipped. So I guess we'll just have him run very fast for this turn, and we'll quest battle next turn when he has his cool toy. He is fast, huh? Gosh, I have a lot of money. And not really a lot of stuff to do with it for the moment. None of these armies can actually can upgrade. Well, I'll tell you one thing I can do with my money. I can pour it into this dude. I do kind of want to just keep harassing the army that has the sword. We'll make our way over in that direction. Ooh, can I eat a mage? A metal mage. Yeah, you're not allowed to have those. Aw. I should probably have just done anything that was likely to succeed because he is half a level away from becoming immortal. That probably ought to be my my first priority. All right, the High Elf nations continue to glom together. Probably most or all of Ulthuan is now under the control of just that one faction. The one faction who is at war with us, of course. But listen, we were going to have to go over there and burn the whole thing to the ground at some point anyway. They're just making it a little bit more of a challenge. A tiny bit more entertaining. All right. Level up for you. You get the last point of Primal Instincts. Okay, so decent stats now at this point. And I think let's go do that quest battle, and then we'll end the episode there. That feels like the climactic thing to do. So, get me some Rune Tortured Axes. What are we up against? A lot of Dark Elves with swords, a couple Dark Elves with spears. Whole bunch of dark shards. I don't even... Shades are missile infantry? They're just like this... They're both of the other things in this army? I don't really know. Listen. Ask me anything about Dark Elf army compositions. We expect a Pyrrhic victory with significant casualties. Sporkticus is going to show up and reinforce me? Is he? Well, cool, I guess. And there are going to be many reinforcements on their end, including some Norskins and... Geez. Okay. Well, they're going to have a giant. Guess I'm glad I brought all these Gorgons. So the roaming bands of witch elves have begun their yearly murder spree here, but they gain wind of Torox's presence outside. It seems that he is now the guest of honor, and the Druki waste no time in spilling outside the gates to intercept him. So they definitely have the range advantage. Now, several of our units of Minotaurs have shields. We will probably want those ones to lead the charge into the archers. We have to be a little bit careful here. The witch elves, I know they can cause any unit they're fighting to rampage, so we'll lose control of whatever they're directly up against. And the Harganeth executioners are just good killers, so we'll have to watch their position as well. Yeah, what he said. Again, it probably is worth noting that this river was going to run red with their blood anyway, even if we hadn't shown up. So sorry, what is this? What is this here that they've put on wheels and dragged outside the city? This is a death hag on a... Okay. That's probably a statue of Cain, the elf god of slaughter, who is definitely just corn, but the elves are too dumb to notice. Bizarre. All right, well... I know they think that they have the range advantage here, but I have a Cygor and they don't. So what we're going to do right now is move all of our various fighty troops up behind the tree wall. We're just going to take that cover, and I'm going to have the Cygor hurl things at them until they realize that actually they have to come to me. I'm also going to press this button. So where is my Cygor can just go to like right here. And I guess I may as well do the other Cygor summons too, right? I'll have other things I want to cast when we're in actual combat. Okay, they get the idea. They seem to understand the stakes pretty quickly here. Actually, you throw over there. So we'll just rain some rocks down. We'll make them approach us over the river. Yep, this is the cost of being slow. Uh-oh, they got a fire wizard. Right in the Minotaurs. What a bunch of jerks. Alright, so everybody let loose on this death hag. Guard mode, do not chase. We're about to have, if I run this, my big concern is if I run the Feral Manticore out, it's just going to get filled with arrows immediately, but they did split off one unit of archers over there. So I think what I'm going to do is, I have a unit of shielded Minotaurs here, right? Let's do some flanking. Let's grab a couple units of Minotaurs and flank around over here. And then I'll move forward with the Manticore once we see how this unit reacts to that, because the Manticore could just land on them. Also, that Death Hag definitely counts as a large unit on her ridiculous mount, so the Gorgons should be very well suited to dealing with that noise. Put y'all right here. It's repositioning a little bit. We're going to have another Cygor. Actually, you know what? Just throw rocks. Don't even worry about anything else. Just throw rocks right now. Right, I think I'm actually just going to have Torox charge right out. Murder! To his explosion against a single target button. And then, yeah, it's just time to march the Gorgons on elf flesh, right? Like, y'all are just kind of thrown to the middle. Should probably make sure all of the Cygors are on guard mode too, because I don't want them walking around. Yeah, everybody just kind of throw to the middle. I think they have really screwed this up. They did not plan this very well. And then you're going to have to move forward a little bit, but this is an extremely juicy Vile Tide. And yeah, Manticore forward. Just kill. Just everybody kill. Giant run up. I'm going to try to save the Minotaurs as much as possible here, but the ones without the shields we might want to go in now. Where are the Minotaurs without the shields? Okay, here we go. Because we're going to get approached from another angle by some more Dark Elves, I think, is how the reinforcements are going to manifest, probably. That's how this usually works. Oh, actually, sorry. That's your target. You run into those guys. And let's have the archers maybe refocus a little bit, because I think that target is dead. I think those guys are done for. Do we just shoot at the wizard? Is this just a lady running around on foot? Yeah, okay. So we're going to have some accuracy problems that prevent that from being the best play. Just shoot at, yeah, just shoot at their dark shards. Okay. Gonna get some pretty good rock throws in here. Buffs for everybody. Yep, pretty solid. One of the Cygors has ceased to exist. We got Revelers coming in. All kinds of wacky stuff is happening. So I'm just going to have the Manticore press over here because the Minotaurs have that other thing completely under control. And we managed to keep most of our units pretty fresh here while also breaking this first army, which I'm pleased with. Reinforcements are coming in from that side. Do not... Just get back over here. Alright, I'm going to move the Cygor up to here to start shooting at the incoming. You know what, Torox? Eat that wizard. If you could just eat that wizard for me, that would be great. Yeah, see, our units keep doing this thing where they just decide they're done fighting for the moment. Which is definitely making my life a lot more difficult in terms of micromanagement. Okay. Manticore's doing what the Manticore needs to do. In order to save their wizard, the Lord has thrown itself upon us, which works just fine for me. Alright, Greenskids are coming to join the Nightmare of Slaughter, and they're coming in behind the elves, which is fun. Oh hey, this force contains a Hydra. Our Gorgons should be very happy to have a Hydra to fight. That'll go well. Manticore, keep pushing. What exactly do you think you are doing? Oof. Yeah, that's some friendly fire. That's okay. Well. These Minotaurs got a little over-aggressive. Let's see if we can still pull them back. Yep, there's Hydra Fire. All right, so they have cavalry of their own coming in. Try to get back behind the lines. Yeah, the Manticore can keep eating those. That's fine. All right, so what's going on over here? Some orcs showed up and backstabbed the... Okay, anything that had slowed down even a little bit got caught, it looks like. Which means that we probably want our Cygor to refocus on things that are nearer the front. I mean, you always want to be firing where the enemies are densest. Still a lot of fire. Still a lot of fire magic going on. I mean, I kind of think I'm just gonna have my giant run out there. I don't see any reason to reserve the giant at all. Let's have... We have a unit of Harganeth Executioners here who are still alive for some reason. So my units are like way into half-assing battle, just fight an enemy for a little while and then let them go. Just making my life a lot more difficult. You know what? Pursue that wizard. No more fire, please. And speaking of wizards, where is my... Where actually are you? Oh, you're in this group. That's fine. What is this over here? That's Torox. He was pursuing their lord, who presumably he has now killed. All right, the Minotaurs remembered that there were elves to fight. It's pretty good giant flaming skull. Here, I'm just gonna charge right into combat. All right, War Hydras are a high-value arrow target. I probably want to pull the Minotaurs back a little bit here. I know that the Gorgon is also large, and so having it go up against elite halberd troops is a little not ideal, but solid charge there from Torox, as ever. Your troops have uncovered hidden foes. Oh no. It's another... the Norskins, right. Well... Maybe you should fall back, friend. You're about to get speared. These bleak swords are still alive somehow. Just a lot of my units deciding that it does not matter whether they fight the enemy units. Could you help with that, please? You should probably turn your attention on... Right now we're just throwing at the Black Guard. With my Gorgon in combat with them, my suspicion is that's going to turn out to not be such a good idea. So yeah, let's have you throw some rocks over there instead. You are absolutely going to apply your talents against these Black Guard, though. I want to get a little bit closer before I start applying my buffs. This could go up now. All right, wizard, get over here. And where is that? Here it is. This is what I wanted. Let's get some debuffs and stuff off. Let's grab a Gorgon, because there's just like a War Hydra in the middle of the stuff right here. That should not be the case. Y'all, switch targets. Swapsies. You are fighting the wrong things. Every one of you is somehow fighting the wrong thing. Alright, so we're getting some permanent breakage on some units over here. These Norscan Ice Wolves should be no match for Minotaurs. Get some nice charging going on. Okay, must remember, orcs are friendly. Do not need to eat the orcs. Let's pull some of the Minotaurs up from the back lines to help pressure what remains of the Dark Elves. And we have so many wins. We have so many wins of so much magic. I mean, hold on. Let's just execute the run first. Unfortunately, the spells that are going to be relevant here are pretty low range. Here, Wargar, continue to harass that guy as he runs. You lot need to report to the front. Oh, my giant is in trouble. Let's try to get some of these halberds a little distracted so they don't kill the giant while we get the giant out to safety. Okay, that should be good enough. Let's push all the way through to there. We can probably divert Torox from fighting these little dudes to fighting the hero that's trying to kill my shaman. Get him, Torox. Yeah, see, this is what happens when you put yourself in like a big weird chariot. You lose a lot of mobility. You lose a lot of turning radius. All right, y'all, that's a Norscan giant. Can we please? Right, we have solutions to this problem. I don't know why there's still a Norscan giant alive, but make that no longer the case. Oof. They got him down, and I think now they're just going to stab the hell out of him before he can get back up. The Manticore seems to have lost its damn mind. Alright, the Brave Shaman's alive. Their giant is desperately trying to do anything of value. And once again, like, two of our Gorgons are just like, okay, I'm done. I fulfilled my orders. Y'all, stay focused. We're still fighting. Speaking of still fighting, I think we probably have chased... Yeah, we probably have chased their lord off the map by now. Yeah, that giant, Norscan giants seem to have some kind of inner ear problem or something, maybe? They spend a lot of time laying down. So we took some damage there. The giant nearly cracked. Our wizard got beat up real bad. Our Wargore got beat up real bad. I mean, neither one of those are like huge surprises. I did try to pull the wizard pretty far forward to cast some spells. Sporkticus. You know, with that name, you deserve everything your army got. Was that incredibly sloppy? Yes. Yeah, for sure. But on the other hand, who's got these big magic axes? I'm always trying to limit, like, I'm trying to find the balance between pausing the amount that I want to pause, which is every 10 seconds, and doing the thing that will be less annoying to watch. And it's tough. It's tough when there's, 5 armies involved in the battle, and especially with an army like this, I feel like this is a little bit more micromanagement heavy because the positions of the Minotaurs matter so much, and... Alright, we did lose that one unit of Minotaurs, and it's a shame, because they were halfway developed. This replenishment is nothing. You know what, I will take the favor. And then on top of that, some dread and some axes, and no, it did not give us any momentum. That battle does not count. Well, that's a shame. So, like I said, armor is probably not super necessary. His melee attack is good, but he's not quite in able to duel with the very best duelist lords levels yet, so let's keep pushing up for that, I guess. Move forward a little bit and encamp and hire up some more Minotaurs. And I mean, we may as well make some other upgrades here, right? We certainly have the money. So what else do I really want? These abilities totally might be worthwhile. As far as recruitment structures go, I don't know that this army needs the other one. Yeah, probably not. So I guess let's make one of these green structures and we'll figure out what they do. He's going to be involved in a lot of our battles. A lot of our post-battle loot is going to come from this army, so it's probably okay to do that. I don't think it's worth upgrading this because we're probably just never going to put any Bestigors in here, right? Most of the spaces in this army are well spoken for. And they are not making this easy. Where are you all going? You know what? Detour, you can still do something. Boy, I do not like the much lower chances of success we're seeing. Yep, critical failure. Well, he had to get one more out of the way, right? So yeah, I guess the plan is just to get back on land here, because otherwise we're doing it right at the Temple of Kara, which does not actually seem like a safe thing to do. I guess, does raiding even help here? You are already not suffering attrition. Yeah. And there's going to be a turn or two before starvation sets in over here. And I guess, yeah, we're gonna lose our rampage. Let's go ahead and click one of these buttons, even though none of them are particularly compelling. You know what? Okay, hold on. Don't build this. Let me click the button that makes that building cheaper, and then we'll re-click that. Hooray, discount. So that goes from 50 to 100. Cacophonous assaults last longer and also removes enemy charge defense. Ooh. Actually, that's interesting. So what charge defense does is units that have charge defense prevent units from units that charge them from receiving their charge bonus. We have so many units with such significant charge bonuses. I actually think that may be worth it. I hate clicking on a button that says Whole of Beast Filth, but I think in this case, it may be worth it, if you can believe such a thing. So right now, it looks like the Dark Elves, according to the balance of power bars, it looks like the Dark Elves are still stronger than the High Elves. I would expect that they are probably also pretty focused on the High Elves as a target. The High Elves are kind of between them and the rest of the world. They don't have that many other people to fight. So I'm hoping to be able to hit Ulthuan during a period where the High Elves are busy, you know? Okay, behold the true visage of insanity. The Vorbergland Jabberslythe. Well, if you were going to be into any Jabberslythe, that's the one to be into. Am I allowed to recruit without breaking siege? Am I allowed to recruit from that pool? Because I would love to, obviously. Let's grab Smoke and Mirrors here. That's a thing you should know how to do. Oh, what am I doing? I'm starting like we're gonna just keep playing here. No, I gotta remember, sometimes the video has to come to an end. That's gonna be the end of this one for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, tomorrow, I guess we're gonna carve as wide a swath through this jungle as we can. I have had a lot of bad experiences down on this southwest continent, and honestly, I'm just hoping we can burn through it very quickly and then never return to it or think about it ever again. So come back next time for that, and we'll see you then.